impacts to the U.S. economy. City leaders report the trucking stoppage could compound issues for an already strained supply chain. 70 business associations from the U.S. and Canada are calling for the end of the protest on the Windsor-Detroit Ambassador Bridge. They write in a statement that reads in part, "The Ambassador Bridge is the busiest trade crossing in North America and a vital enabler of our two economies. Given the importance of ensuring that the supply of food, medical products, and industrial goods can continue, the disruption at the Ambassador Bridge is an attack on the well-being of our citizens and the businesses that employ them." One of the associations signing the letter is the Detroit Chamber of Commerce CEO, Sandy Barua. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning. So this is the largest North American land crossing. Lanes into the U.S. remain open. What is your biggest worry right now?
Well, my biggest worry is that law enforcement on both sides of the border are not going to be able to get a handle on this in sufficient time. Most of the major manufacturing facilities, both in Canada and the United States, have 24, 48 hours of inventory. This obviously has now reached into its second or third day, and it's actually expanding because we're now seeing a lot of slowage in the Blue Water Bridge, which connects Sarnia and Port Huron. So if this does not get resolved soon, we are going to see impacts to manufacturing, no doubt.
How much of an impact could this have on tourism?
Well, on tourism, not much. One, because tourism between Canada and the United States right now is fairly limited because of COVID and some of the restrictions that both countries have. But also, passenger traffic between downtown Detroit and downtown Windsor is flowing. There is a bridge that actually goes underneath the Detroit River that connects downtown Windsor and downtown Detroit. That is open. That is not open to commercial traffic. No trucks are allowed on that. So you can get in your Malibu or Fusion and go back and forth.
Wouldn't this also beg the conversation, though? You're saying that because of COVID restrictions, tourism isn't an issue. And that is really the central focus of this trucker protest, is that they think that these restrictions were already strict between the U.S. and Canada. And this is just another straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, with such strict mandates during a time when we're seeing a fierce decline in the number of COVID cases. Has there been any conversations about whether or not the truckers actually make a good point?
Well, certainly the primary purpose of the truckers' protest, and I kind of view it as an illegal blockade, frankly, is the Canadian rule of vaccine mandates. Now, we don't have that, obviously, on the U.S. side of the border for trucking firms, but that restriction does exist in Canada. So this started out as a protest against Canadian rules, and in my opinion, that is up to Canada to determine what's best for their nation in terms of keeping their population safe. Now, that protest has actually expanded into kind of all things COVID, all things government regulation, and now it's becoming a little bit more amorphous. So when I look at the impact that this is having on businesses, on individual neighborhoods where these backups are occurring, and we're seeing fumes, we're seeing people who are kind of essentially locked in, they can't get out. I'm not really on the side of the truckers in any way, form, or fashion on this particular issue.
What about the Ambassador Bridge's owner? It is a privately owned bridge. Does that owner have any rights to move these vehicles off?
Yeah, again, this really does fall in the hands of law enforcement, both at the local, state, provincial, and federal level. They're the ones with the authority to act. I mean, the owners of the Ambassador Bridge, would love to see this resolved, as soon as possible, just like everybody else. This is not working to their benefit. I think they are a little bit more sympathetic to kind of the issues that the truckers are trying to raise than perhaps I am or my organization is. But we stand united that this issue needs to get resolved one way or another sooner rather than later, because this is going to start to have global supply impacts probably in the next 12 to 24 hours, if not resolved.
All right. Thank you for giving us a timeline. We appreciate it. Sandy Barua, we appreciate your time as well.
Good to be with you.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.